Morena whānau, beautiful day down here as you can see. Just thought I might go for a bit of a solo dive today, clear the mind a bit, you know, bit of a mental health dive this one. Last month's been pretty rough for me and the team. Quite a few mates pass away sadly. Yeah, the weather's absolute hissing in town, but I've been checking it on windy and checking the tides. Tide's not until about 1 o'clock. So get my gears packed up and head down to Bluff, get some Pauas, hopefully some Kinas, be lucky if I get a cray. Just do a quick gear check. The Māori Revolution 5mm camo, best wetsuit I've ever worn, just keeps you warm as. 100cm Wetty Sparrow, got these divers, and those are just unreal under the water. Hoodies, 3mm, Cressy gloves, got my weight vest, and just got to go pick up my weight belt from the brother's house. Float boat, check, brand new, Mrs. bought it for me, shout out to the missus for that. Ready, goggles, snorkel, all in there, got the line, got the gloves, bit of power knife, spear gun, myself, just get a drink of water. Quick reminder, if you're going for a dive, stay well hydrated. My biggest factor anyway. Definitely helps. The old Bluff, we out there whānau. Beautiful day for a solo mish. Got a bit of an apple for a bit of energy before I jump in there. Need to get some straps, eh? Be just planning on coming in with the tide, so I haven't brought nothing with me, so I'll just go to this point and swim along the coast until I get back to the old Bluff sign there. So this is for the whānau that don't know me too well. Diving's a huge part of my life. My old man taught me how to dive probably when I was about 14. And then when I first moved down to Southland, after that I moved back up north for a few years, and then I just missed the diving so much I ended up moving back down here when I was about 19. And then from there, my best mate down here, we just sort of started in the shallows like everybody else as a learner. You know, fucking 3 meters was pretty deep to us back then, and took us a couple of years to get to where we're at now. We'd always just push ourselves every time we'd go out. We always used to get the looking into the deep blue would sort of freak us out, but if you have a good partner in that, trustworthy partner, you can sort of build confidence in each other, which is a good thing. It's what you want when you have a good dive partner, being able to trust each other, confidence in each other. And we all started off with the all the old pro dive gears and the scuba fins, alright for diving, for practicing in the shallows. I found out about wetty. It was between open sail suits, and they're just so amazing. I wouldn't be where I am today without my whānau and all the support from the team. Don't dive too much by myself, but today's just one of those days where you just got to let the mind out, be with tangaroa, Kia ora whānau. So before I jump in the water, I always like to do a little bit of a karakia. Doesn't have to be a Māori, but I would like to learn one in Māori. But just kia ora tangaroa. Thank you for providing this beautiful day for me to be able to get out there and gather some kai for me and the whānau. Thank you for blessing us with some good viz. Nice flat oceans. Thank you for looking after me and my whānau and all the team that comes out with me every time. Thank you for blessing us with all the kite. You always provide for us. Ake ake aomene. Yeah, whānau, you just have to say a couple of words. Tangaroa. He always seems to keep us safe. We always like to do a karakia. He looks after us, we'll look after him by, you know, just not always getting your limit, but just getting enough for a feed. Look at that thing, fucking washing machine. It's just, I just say that's like a kia ora from Tangaroa, you know. I love it. I just love watching this. It's nice and fun. Can't beat it out here, team. Honestly can't. This is absolutely beautiful for the mental health. Kia ora. Time to get the gears on, team. So what I like to do, get your goggles. Bit of spit. Give that a rub around. Give them a wash. And that'll just help stop them from fogging up. I just like to make sure that the goggles around the seals are just all around the face. Probably can't see, but water getting into the goggles is one thing I hate. Just makes the dive so much harder. Actually due for a new pair, as these are leaking a wee bit. Got a new pair coming from Ocean Hunter. Check. That I swapped the dive R's for the rukus, as I knew I probably wasn't going to be going over 10 metres. Fins on, team. Fins on. Boys, goggles, snorkel, fins. Those are the first things I put on, just because when you're on rocks, the waves are coming up, you know, and you're trying to get ready, you don't want them to get swept away. A little bit of an example, fucking, yeah, the missus came out with me the other day and we were rock hopping and a big swell came in and swept her off the rocks. Lost one of her fucking $700 pair of fins. I ended up jumping in the water and finding it after about an hour. But yeah, I just, you know, fins, goggles and snorkel, those are the main things I find that you want to have on before you get in the water. You don't want to get into trouble out there if you get swept off the rocks or anything like that. Whānau, kia ora. Kia ora whānau. Fucking that wind's just started to pull around now, so better get in there. So this is actually not too bad, which is quite surprising. I thought it was going to be probably shit as, but I'll just wait until a fucking wave comes along, pulls me off the rocks. First time using a float boat. So this was the first drop of the dive, sitting around maybe 4 metres, quite shallow, pretty good to warm up the lungs, get a bit of confidence in the body. Wasn't expecting to get too much. Came across these 2 kina here, which was quite surprising for this spot. They're normally around the 10 metre mark. So after finding a couple of kina, just kept having a look around. Don't know if I could find a couple more. Seen a nice butterfish or greenbone swim past. He was a bit of a fatty. Always good to see a bit of fish life hanging about, you know. But they weren't really my target species for this dive. So this was the second drop. It was pretty interesting to find. Just having a wee look around the rocks, unsure on what to find. Maybe a couple of kina. But come across these wee crays, which was good to see that there was a bit of cray life around. Undersized, so just leave them alone. So carry on venturing around, hoping to find maybe a buck or two. So this fizz was actually really surprising to me. I was expecting it maybe to be a metre, 2 metres if I was lucky. Just with the amount of wind and rain we've had over the last 2-3 weeks, it's been absolute shite. So just on the third drop here, having a look around, see a few more butterfish swim past, which is always a good sign that there's quite a few fish around. Actually seen a few moki as well. Made me thought maybe I should go and grab the spear gun and have a shoot. Yeah, not really my target species on this dive. Wasn't too really sure what I was actually looking for. Anything was good. It's always a blessing. Tangaroa gives you something. So these kina here were just in a nice wee crack. Poked my head over this hole, and there was another one just sitting there. Nice wee babies. Kina are quite few and far over this side. Normally on all our other diving spots, we find pictures of maybe 10 to 30 kinas in one spot, maybe more. So it's always good to have a bit of a good hunt around and a bit of a challenge. Find one here and there. See later on in the video, I see a couple more divers out there. I seen them in the car park, and they asked me where I found the kina. I just said, you got to venture out a bit deeper, and so that gave them a bit of a tip, which I was pretty pleased of. Bit of a feed. Kina's on toast. Yeah, whānau. Fucking absolutely beautiful out there. One of the most relaxing solo dives I've had in a long time. That's the key, whānau. You've got to be relaxed, though. You've got to feel one with Tangaroa. Today's that day. So on this drop here, I ventured out a wee bit deeper, maybe 7 metres, if that. Just having a look around, maybe find a few crays, hopefully. Checking under rocks, having a look around, see a nice patch of maybe about 5 kina. Break them up, and I poke my head over this rock here, and have a look, and then I find a nice wee cray poking its head out. Nice eater. Missed it, which is fine. Not really the biggest fan of crays. Normally just give them away. This drop, just having another look around. Again, just in a bit of a deeper area. Maybe hoping to find a cray, but not expecting to get one really. It's just carry on looking for kina. So just coming up to a couple of my last deeper drops. Just keep on venturing out until I think I had enough kina to have a feed, and give a few people a few kina. You'll see at the end, you see this fella Tom. Yeah, man, he was just into them. Nice fella from America, and his mates from Germany. So this was about my last dive before I jumped into the shallower water and probably went and had a look for some paua before I headed back to the Bluff sign where I was going to jump out. Few killers in there, maybe 10. That's luck for a beat. Time to go get the pauas. Go to the shallows, go have a look. So there were quite a lot of paua, but there were a lot of different size. So just leave them in the cracks, keep venturing around, having a look for the odd big one. I was actually quite surprised that there weren't a lot more compared to quite a few other spots around here that I've been to. So I just found maybe one or two here and there. I'd go and check on the spear gun for the size, because I forgot my green paua knife you get off fisheries. So I was just using that. Got a sticker on the gun, it's got a paua measurer on there. Came across a couple of sort of log here, I came across a couple of other divers. Looks like they're having a bit of time, got a paua feed in it. Always good to see people out here. So after I had a break and had a yarn with them, carried on having a look for some more paua out in the deep, which I tend to find the bigger ones, just like this. He was pretty decent. One of the bigger paua I got on dive, which was pretty good. Always good to get a good feed of them. So before I jumped in the water and I was getting ready in the car park and making sure I had all my gear, there was a man in the bus next to me, and he just asked if I'd sell him some kai moana, which is something I never do. I just give it away to friends and family, and whoever can't get out there I just give it out to. More than happy enough to. So I gave him the paua that I gathered, and I just kept a couple of kina for myself, because quite a lot of people, when I got back to the car park, were quite intrigued in all the kai moana that was gathered, just in paua and sea urchin or kina. It's just coming up to this last drop of the dive. I heard my GoPro go flat, which was quite a shame, because I wanted to get a video of giving the people the kai moana that I gathered for them, which would have been good for the video. Yeah, team, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you want more videos like this. This is all I have left. There's a man here, just parked right there in the bus. When I jumped in, wanted me to get him some pauas. So I just went out and got him a few pauas, got a few kinas. Yeah, and then there's quite a few Asians coming up and checking out the kinas and pauas, so I gave him pauas, gave him some pauas and some kinas. Yeah, sadly, I think the kinas have spawned. Yeah, not the fattest, but they'll do. Just met the brother Tom down at Bluff, and his mate Garrett and Lena. Yep. Just gonna go off and get a feed of fish and chips.
It's gonna be sweet as. We just munched some urchin. It was classy as, delicious as.
Wicked.
We're off with the boy Ben getting fish and chips.
Shit, yeah. Nah, it's mean.